Alright, so it's been a while since I made a video here. I was asked about the new set. It's actually a lot of fun. So I'm just going to run through a quick constructed event here while I take a break from work. A lot of new stuff. I'm going to run this with this deck here. Alright, so there's just a lot of cards in here. Fog is the main stall card. The whole point of this deck is to stall. It's kind of a control combo-ish kind of a thing. There's a lot of planeswalkers in this, and planeswalkers all have static abilities now, so they have things that are always affecting the game state. I'm going to run through them real quick. Um, it's going to be a lot of overload, but when the games start, you'll see this deck's actually a lot of fun. I don't know if it's actually overly good, especially in like a tournament sense, but it's definitely a lot of fun. And I have been winning with it, so that's fun. Root Snare is Fog. All right, so Narset is a 3-drop, comes into play with 5 loyalty. -2, look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a non-creature, non-land card, and put it in your hand. So it's pretty good on itself. It's has the exact same wording as Ascanta land, which is great. The big thing is its static ability says that each opponent cannot draw more than 1 card each turn. So, I mean, it's a really big help against the control decks. It really shuts down some of their card advantage. Gift Paradise, Little Life, some Mana Acceleration. We are technically 5 colors with Nicol Bolas, even though we're pretty much just white, blue, green. But we do need some red. We do need some black. So that's a thing. Dovin is, again, 3-drop, 5 loyalty, -1, prevent all damage from a permanent until your next turn. Artifact, instant, and sorcery spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast, so very good on that regard. New Teferi, absolutely love this card. Again, 3 casting cost planeswalker. 4 loyalty when it comes into play. It's +1. You may cast sorceries at instant speed until next turn. Or until your next turn. -3, return an artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand. Draw a card. And it is up to, so you can -3 to draw a card if you just need a card from somewhere. But its static ability is each opponent can only cast spells at a time they're a sorcery. So it is a City of Solitude Planeswalker, which is just stupid good. Oath of Kea, there's 1 in here. I don't know how I feel about it, mainly because I don't draw it very often. When I do draw it, it's pretty powerful, but I can't find more room to put some in there. So I might cut this in for another Wanderer, and you'll see why in a second. But Oath of Kea, 3 cast enchantment. It deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. And then whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker I control, it deals 2 damage. It just drain lives for 2, and it's really fun. It basically makes some of the more aggressive decks think about where their attacks go. Most of the time, though, I actually do want them to attack the planeswalkers because I use the planeswalkers as fog effects. Doesn't always work like that, though. I might cut this for another Wanderer. The Wanderer comes into play with 5. It's a forecasting cost. -2, exile target creature with power 4 or greater. That's great. I do use that. The static ability is prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. So that pretty much shuts down anybody burning out my planeswalkers or or me. It shuts down a lot of random things. So keep that static ability in mind, because when all these static abilities come together, it's really good. So I mean, Narset is great. Dovin is great. Teferi's fantastic. Wanderer does play a part in here. Jace is actually the main win condition. There's only 2. That's okay. 4 loyalty, 4 casting cost, +1. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, and I draw a card. So, I mean, if you have graveyard manipulation like I do, this is basically draw 3 cards, which is fantastic. -8. Draw 7 cards, then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. Its static ability, however, is if I were to draw a card and the library is empty, I win the game. That's its static ability, so that's really good. A lot of fun. My main win condition, but usually people scoop before I get a chance to do it. The new Ajani, creatures I control have vigilance as its static ability. It's obviously very powerful in like a green white or like zoo style deck. Very fun. I don't actually have any creatures, so I mean that doesn't really help anybody. But um, +1, gain 3 life, obviously important. -2, put a 1/1 counter on each creature I control and a loyalty counter on each planeswalker that I control. That actually helps me get to Jace's ultimate faster. It helps me get to Nico Bolas's ultimate faster. It can help me get to Teferi's ultimate faster. Nico Bolas and Teferi's ultimates I don't really use very much. Jace's ultimate, obviously, if I can get there, is great. Tamio, this planeswalker is the best planeswalker in the set, hands down. Like it is the best planeswalker, and it's only a rare. That's the best thing. The reason it's so good is because of its two abilities and its static ability are overly powerful in the modern format. Um, well, actually, it probably would be powerful in the modern format. I meant to say in the current format, but whatever. So 4 casting cost, 5 loyalty, already fantastic because it takes 2 burn spells to melt this thing down. It usually takes 2 or 3 creatures to attack this, so it's overly good already. +1, name a non-land card. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards with the chosen name into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Again, +1, draw 4 cards as far as I'm concerned. The reason it's draw 4 cards is because of its second ability, which is -3 regrowth. That's it. Just get a card back, regrowth. I run 3 of them. Uh, Maybe it should be 4. I don't know. This thing is kind of a suitcase, so there's not a whole lot there. But its static ability in the current format is bananas. Spells and abilities my opponents control can't cause me to discard cards or sacrifice permanents at all. I run this guy out, and every duress, every thought erasure, which is half of the format, is completely useless. Anything that says target player sacrifices a planeswalker, which there are a couple cards that do that, is worthless. There's just there's just so much utility in this card. It's absolutely great. Um, we'll get back to that. Cleansing Nova, we need a Wrath. It also hits artifacts and enchantments if I wanted to, but it's pretty much just to keep me alive. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, this is just, I mean, it's probably one of the best planeswalkers printed other than the Mind Sculptor. If you haven't seen it, it's 5 cast cost, 4 loyalty, +1 draw a card, untap 2 lands, -3, put a permanent third down from the top of the library, so you kind of buried a little bit. -8 for the rest of the game. Whenever I draw a card, exile target permanent and opponent controls. I don't really use those a whole lot. I tuck things every so often. It's mainly there for the card draw. I only run 2 in this deck because it is a little slow for what I'm trying to do, and it doesn't actually affect the game state as much. Like it's funny when Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is not the main planeswalker that you want to get to. I mean, it's very good. I'm never sad to see it, but it just doesn't do as much. Nicol Bolas, this guy's kind of busted. 5 casting costs, a little hard to cast in this deck. Like I said, this is the only red card we have. 5, it comes into play with 4 loyalty counters. +1, draw a card. Each opponent removes from game a card from their hand or a permanent they control. Usually not that big of a deal, but just to draw a card is good. -3, destroy target creature or planeswalker. That is really key. Getting rid of the new Gideon or getting rid of my opponent's Teferi Time Raveler is obviously very good. -8, each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker loses the game. So that's always fun. The fact of the matter is everybody's playing legendary creatures or planeswalkers now, so that's not really going to come into effect unless you can really control what they're doing. That is not what my deck does, so I don't really ever ultimate. But the great thing is the static ability of Nicol Bolas says that Nicol Bolas, in addition to its abilities, has all loyalty abilities of every other planeswalker on the battlefield, including your opponents. So you could do a lot of stuff with this. So that's pretty much what we're doing. We're controlling the board with planeswalkers. We're using their static abilities to our advantage. We're using Cleansing Nova to clear the board. We're using Root Snare to stall for that extra turn. and we're milling ourselves a lot. The reason we're milling ourselves a lot is because of the last card that we have in here called Command the Dreadhorde. Command the Dreadhorde is a 6 casting cost sorcery. Choose any number of target creatures and/or planeswalker cards in graveyards. Command the Dreadhorde rather deals damage to you equal to the total converted mana cost of the cards that you put into play. Uh, uh, Equal to the cards that you choose, and then you put them on the battlefield under your control. Now, it's really good as like a one-shot reanimate, getting something out of their yard or getting a couple of planeswalkers back and losing, 5, 6, 7, 8 life, because usually you have enough life to where it doesn't really matter. But remember, the Wanderer prevents all non-combat damage that's dealt to me and permanents I control. So if I have the Wanderer in play, I can reanimate everything from both graveyards, put it into play under my control, taking no damage, and completely swing the game. And that's usually exactly what happens when I cast Command the Dreadhorde. It's usually just the final bit. So that's how that goes. The lands, we're using the check lands. We're using the shock lands because this is how this shit works. I've got one Gateway Plaza to produce the random red, smooth out the mana a little bit. I don't like the fact that it comes into play tapped, so I only run one. I do run 3 interplanar beacons. It's an uncommon from the new set. It adds a colorless or 1 tap, add 2 mana of different colors. And I can only spend this to play planeswalker spells, obviously, in this deck. That's really powerful. That gives me another red. Um, so I've got 4 lands that produce red. I've got 4 gift that produces red. So for my 1 Nicol Bolas. So, I mean, I'm pretty much okay with that. However, whenever I cast a planeswalker spell, I gain a life. And that is obviously really huge in the aggro matchups. So that's it. That's the deck breakdown. Let's go ahead and see how we do here. Let's run the gamut on this. Remember, it's 500 gold to enter one of these. 4 wins gets us our 500 gold back, and 7 wins doubles our deal. This is the 3rd time I've run this today. I've gotten 7 wins on the other ones. All right, so this hand, I have no white. I have white in the deck. I mean, I'm going to keep this. If he's playing red, I might be at a disadvantage. I might be able to hold off. Okay, so we've got things going on here. I found my white. He plays a Godless Shrine, which tells me he's probably playing Esper. I wouldn't be surprised if we have yep, there's our Esper control. It's not control. Soul Diviner. Remove a counter from an artifact, creature, land, or planeswalker you control. Draw a card. Seems like a solid card. I mean, I don't really see much use for it, but let's see what his deck does. I thought he was running control. He's going to run out the Time Raveler, which is a great idea. He's going to get a +1, and he is going to use it. Okay. That was entertaining. I'm going to run out my own Time Raveler, and I'm going to bounce this and force him to recast it. And now we cannot counter each other's spells, which is actually fine with me because all my shit is sorcery speed. Oath of Kaya, great card there. Be interesting to see what he's doing. Like, he might be running like a... Oh, that was cute. All right, so he's doing things. He's getting tricky with his stuff. I'm not hating. That seems perfectly fine. We are going to go ahead and name a card. At this point, let's name Gift, just so. Oh, we had a gift on top, and we mill 3 cards. It's looking good. I'll probably use Tameo to reanimate and get a land if I don't draw one. The Oath is also pretty good. I can actually get the Oath and get his Teferi off the board just like he did to mine. Now he's doing that thinking that I'm not going to use it to reanimate, but I mean, the truth is, I have another Tameo, so I don't really care. I am going to reanimate my Oath. Even though I can't cast it, that's alright. And now I have to discard a card. Dovin seems kind of subpar here. Missing the land drops is kind of rough. Treasure map for the opponent. Uses the treasure map. Puts it on the bottom. I'm wondering if he is running control. I've seen no real evidence that he has any counter magic, but I mean, he's running blue. He's leaving blue untapped right there. So, I mean, that's a pretty strong indication. We're going to run this out, see what he does. Does he counter Oath? I mean, obviously, he can use this to draw a card. There we go. Alright, so I got rid of his Teferi. Wasn't bad. He can use Soul Diviner to take counters off of his treasure map, which sounds pretty good. I may not have given that card enough credit. That card actually seems like it's doing a little extra work. I'm going to run Narset out there, and he's not going to be able to do a damn thing about drawing more cards. Well, you can always draw it on my turn, I suppose. And he has something to proliferate. Alright, so since I don't actually care about my Oath anymore because he's not going to be attacking anything, I'm actually just going to destroy all artifacts and enchantments here. That does get rid of my gift, but that's okay. He is drawing a lot more cards than me, though. And Karn. The new Karn's pretty good. We'll go ahead and read it here. It is 4 casting cost, 3 loyalty. Activated abilities of artifacts that the opponent controls cannot be activated, and until your next turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact with a power toughness -2. You get to wish for an artifact, so it's pretty stout. All right, so you got to be careful here because it kind of likes to tap it in funky ways. Uh, Actually turned out to be not a bad draw, especially because he is going to kind of start rocking all my stuff here. And it looks like he's trying to control the board through interactions, kind of like I am, so I don't think that he's going to have a lot of counter magic. He's drawn so many cards, though. He can Meteor Golem the Teferi, which wouldn't be a bad play. There's the Meteor Golem. And the next artifact he wishes for is another meteor golem. Alright, so we're gonna start running some things out here. Just gonna prevent him from doing too much of anything. We're looking for the Wanderer ourselves. These random janky decks are kind of hard to gauge sometimes. Because I think I'm just going to operate under the premise that he does not have any counter magic. And hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. Another Oath of Kaya. Okay. And this is until your next turn, so I am going to have the ability. He's going to Oath of Teferi. All right. All right. Yeah, I definitely didn't see Oath of Teferi coming. I'll give him his due props on Oath of Teferi. I'm going to make his creatures go away. And we'll go ahead and run out another gift because I need just more mana. Karn is also just a rare. I mean, there's an artifact in the game right now that controls every aspect of the field. So I don't know, kind of some type of, I don't know about what he's got going on here unless he's got counter magic, but some kind of acceleration premise. Oop, there's another Karn. Running all the Karn. Makes a creature. Uses the treasure map, puts it on the bottom. And he'll wish for something. He will wish for God Pharaoh's statue. So this is actually one of those moments when I kind of have to decide what I want to do. Because I'm at a high enough life right now that I can use my reanimation spell and reanimate quite a few things and not really care. Okay. I'm going to bring back this Cleansing Nova, and we're going to pass the turn. That's pretty beefy. And what's he going to wish for now? He goes and gets Helm of the Host. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's an exact copy of the equipped creature. Okay. All right, so I'm just actually just going to fog now because I won't be able to when he creates the copy. So that's going to happen. I am going to give him a Soul Diviner. He's going to use it again. I will give him discard because he already has one, so don't really care much. He's going to use his treasure map to flip, get some tokens, and hopefully he's going to play his Soul Diviner this turn. Oh. Well, that's harsh. He's going to remove... Yeah, those are... It's just real unfortunate altogether. And he could do it again. Which means my plan is not going to go so well. We are going to destroy pretty much his whole side of the board, though. What are you going to do, opponent? The correct answer is cry into your milk. All right, so what do I still have in here? He can still remove Dovin and Tameo. He cannot remove both Tameos. What I don't want him to remove is the Wanderer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't want him to remove the Wanderer, so we're going to say the Wanderer. All right, so that's not so bad. What just happened is definitely not so bad. He creates another token. All right, so my RFG Planeswalker pile is pretty big. And Soul Diviner. So as of right now, if I activate Command, I will take Meteor Golem to Fury and Soul Diviner, which will deal me 12 damage, which I really don't care about. Oh, well, now I don't have to do that because I got to kill this. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine, and this is 9 as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to grab Soul Diviner and Meteor Golem and submit. I'm going to kill this Kaya. Gain some life. Look at some cards. We got some good cards here. I am going to take the Cleansing Nova again. And I'm going to get the command back. He goes and gets his Dovin. I forgot what this guy does. Okay. 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 So that's not really that big of a deal, especially because he can't draw cards. He just tried. He failed. It was fantastic. Meteor Golem on. Does he take out the Narset? He is going to take out the Narset. He should have done that first. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can't do everything I want this turn. That's a-okay. Do I not have? Oh, well, I definitely can't do everything I want this turn. Okay. Let's gain some life. Let's just kind of see where these chips fall. We'll pick that up. Oh. I'm going to destroy this card. And we'll pass the turn. He's going to make another Thopter. And he's going to do some stuff. Yeah, he gets that. Power Stone. It's pretty good. Another Soul Diviner. He wants to take out. That's very interesting. That probably wasn't the best play. If I'm thinking about it. Now we're going to keep him back to block. Block anything that it might want to do. I am going to take a fair amount of damage this turn. I just have to make sure that that damage pays off. Now he's going to proliferate. He's doing stuff in a very odd order. Like if he would have done that, he could have went and got Teferi, cast Teferi this turn, and made a token instead of doing more or less nothing. All right, so let's go ahead and use this to draw the card. There's my white, so that's pretty friggin' good right there. He has Kaya, which will gain me life. He's got Karn, which actually kind of helps me out with his abilities. But really, I've just got a bunch of stuff here. So we're going to let this happen. There's nothing I can really do to stop it anyway. All right. So during the end step, I'm going to cast this. I'm going to take his Teferi and his Kaya. That's 6 life. That's 10 life, 15 life, 18 life. So we're going to submit that. We're going to go ahead and go to 10. But here comes the Candy Land. I'm going to use this to take a counter off of Kaya and draw that extra card. We're going to destroy all creatures. He's going to draw 1 card. He's probably going to try to draw another, but it's not going to work. Yep, all right. That's great. So we'll run this guy out. Gain some more life. All right, we're going to use Kaya to gain some life. Get rid of Soul Diviner and Karn. All right. I'm going to add a counter to everything. Let's take a look at some cards here. Yeah, that's the Wanderer. I'm going to put that back and draw a card. All right. Let's just do this. Getting rid of Kaya's Wrath. And now I have to decide what I'm going to do here. And honestly, like we're just going to plus it, and we're going to see if we can find a Jace. We did not find a Jace. I still have 2 in the deck. He has not done anything yet. He's going to do a Narset of his own, which is going to kind of suck. It's going to shut down a few things. We will be able to get rid of it, though. He went and got another Karn. Solid play. Casting the Karn. Which beefs my Nicol Bolas up even more. My Nicol Bolas has so many abilities right now. Wouldn't be surprised if he went and got Sorcerer's Spyglass. Yep, there it is. Which, of course, is not going to matter at all. It is going to be hard-pressed for my opponent to win this at this point. I do suppose it's possible, but not very likely. What are you doing, opponent? What are you thinking about? Alright, so he is going to name Nicol Bolas, which is fine. I mean, that's a good pick. I mean, he just has so many abilities at this point. Goes and gets the Teferi, also a good pick. Plays the Teferi. Adding more abilities to my Nicol Bolas. More abilities. And it's going to... So that belonged to him. I forgot about that. So that's pretty good on his part. Alright, so now it's my turn. We'll play the land he knows that I have. And, I mean, the thing is he knew I had this too, so we're going to run this out, gain some life. We're going to force him to pick up his Sorcerer's Spyglass, and I'm going to draw a card. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Okay. That's okay. We can use Nicol Bolas to destroy this. Right. I can remove some things. Of course, I want to gain some more life, so we'll do that. And we'll also do Oath here. Like I said, I don't really know what he's running, so we'll take another Narset. Give everything more counters. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at this point, what I want to do is find a Jace. I still need that damn Jace. There he is. I'm going to run Jace out. Gain some life. I'm going to make him mill. I did not make him mill enough. Throw out a Wanderer. I didn't notice how quickly I gained the life back. I mean, I took a lot of damage, went to 10, and I'm right back up there again. So and this deck has obviously got some versatility to it. If I get to untap, I am going to win. He could Sorcerer Spyglass all he wants. It doesn't matter at this point. The static ability of Jace is still a thing. I am going to be able to mill everything and draw an extra card. Push comes to shove, I could just Cleansing Nova on the artifacts and get rid of all of his artifacts, which includes his Sorcerer Spyglass. I don't see any way for him to actually win this. There is a card that will completely fuck me. I don't think he runs it. It's kind of a sideboard card. So, let's see what he wishes for. A Meteor Golem. Okay, so that... What's he going to destroy is the question. He did take out Jace. So that's a thing. And we're casting Teferi. He's going to bounce Meteor Golem. Still doesn't matter. I'm going to win when I untap here, so he's not going to be able to do anything with Meteor Golem. Alright. So let's get to work on this. So destroy all artifacts. He's going to proliferate for really no reason. And like I said, this is where I'm going to go ahead and win. There's my Jace. We'll cast the Jace. Ain't all that sexy life. I'm gonna activate this just to gain some life again. Meteor Golem Soul Diviner. I'm gonna get my last command, the Dreadhorde, which is that card right there. We'll just activate Jace here and win the game. That game took a hell of a lot longer than like any other game that I've played. That was a lot. So we're waiting for round 2 here. My drink of choice tonight is Captain Morgan Private Stock. All right, so this hand kind of sucks. I mean, I don't want to see this in an opening hand. Everything comes into play tapped. I don't know. We're gonna. It's a little better. Yeah. All right. So let's see what our opponent's playing. All right. So again, probably going with the control. Esper control very popular right now. Thought Erasure most likely coming my way. There that is. Taking away the Teferi is going to be kind of the snap play. I don't have a black to play my Oath, which is fine. Unmoored Ego in the main deck is kind of ridiculous. Like at this point, he's pretty much dead to red. I don't know why he's doing that. He's getting rid of 2 of my Teferis that don't really matter. So there's that. Yeah, Unmoored Ego in the main is pretty rough. Let's see if we can play through it. So he has Search. He's leaving up Negate mana. I mean, we're going to run this out into his Negate. We're going to gain a life. Oh. Okay, then. That was neat. Let's go with Narset is probably going to be the best one. Another Time Raveler. Let's try to find a Time Raveler. None of the above. So actually, all 4 of those cards were kind of shit for what we were going for, especially because we already have a Tamiyo on the board. He probably does have a Vraska's Contempt for the Tamiyo. He just says go, so we're going to go ahead and try to find that same card. Time Raveler. And we did not find it. So we will pass the turn. Chemister's Insight. So he's going to be drawing some cards. It's a pretty good card. So still doesn't have anything here. I mean, I'm actually going to go for Narset this time. And the Time Raveler was like the top card that I milled. That's pretty amazing. I'm really good at this game. See if he counters the oath. It doesn't do anything except for, gains a little bit of life. Yeah, it's at this point I'm probably going to start to regrow some things. I don't really have much in here to regrow. Oh, the Wanderer. Yep. And since Tamio's out, he's not going to make me discard either one, even though I don't think he's too concerned with either one. Let's see if he has a counterspell for this. He should, but apparently he doesn't. Good grief. That was actually a really good mill. Really good mill. Another Chemister's Insight. He has all the Chemister's Insights. Drawing all the cards, no counter magic. And he found another unmoored ego. Let's see what he goes after. So that may do it for me. I don't think that I have the capacity to win. I don't think I can win through this. I'm going to give it a couple turns just to see if I can figure something out, but that might be it. And I could just take solace in the fact that he loses to every red deck ever. Oh, that was a misplay. I should have ran that out, but whatever. Patient rebuilding. That's not so good. And another search for Azcanta. We're going to kill all of his enchantments again. Vraska's Contempt on the Tameo. It's actually really solid. And another patient rebuilding. Okay. That actually could be how I win this game. It is going to be rough, though. Alright, so first things first, we're going to cast Nicol Bolas. We're going to +1 Nicol Bolas. Remove the Kai's Wrath. That's pretty good. We're going to cast Narset. I'm going to add counters to everybody. We're going to bounce Patient Rebuilding. We're going to lay land. And we're going to say go. All in all, that was a pretty productive turn. Mirari. Alright, well, clearly he's getting back the only one thing that matters there. And he kills Nicobolus. He went after Teferi. Well, that's interesting. What can he bring back? He has Unmoored Ego, so... Okay, so we have to do this. It's the only thing. Teferi Time Reveler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're just going to make it happen. 1, 2, 3. All right. Oh, that turned out really good. All right. So now we're going to regrow. Cleansing Nova. Lay our land. Cleansing Nova. Do this thingy. Okay. I have the ability to win next turn. I have the ability to win right now. So we're going to go ahead and add a counter to everything. Ultimate this. What do you got? Oh shit, son. Okay, so came back from the clutches. These games are like a lot more intense and like more thought intensive than my previous games have been. It's just pretty much been, you know, herp derp, don't die until I can wrap and do some stuff. All right. I believe in the heart of the cards. Heart of the cards is failing. Don't fail me, heart of the cards. Oh no. The heart of the cards. Oh god. Blast Zone's kind of cool. Comes into play with a counter on it. Adds a colorless. Double X tap. Put X charge counters on Blast Zone. 3 sack. 3 tap sack. And destroy all the things. I'm going to put this into play untapped just to run out Dovin. Does he run counter magic? It looks like he does. So that was kind of a good test for us there to see exactly what he was trying to accomplish. I'd really like to have a blue land here. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. There's my blue land. We're going to run out Narset. Chemistry's insight and response. Activate. And, yeah, we'll grab Teferi. Teferi's fun. Like I said, I'm never sad to see Teferi. Opponent still dicking around with his 4 mana. Opting. Not allowed to draw more than 1 card a turn, their opponent. I'm going to take this Teferi Time Rattler. Seems fine. Play my Johnny. And let's gain life. Puts another counter on there so that he can get rid of my 3-drop. Cast in his Tameo. Excellent addition to his deck. The thing is, he doesn't have Nexus of Fate, and if he doesn't play red, he doesn't really have much going on. Do you Sinister Sabotage that? No. Probably a good idea, and we'll gain some life. He decided not to Blast Zone. What card does he name? Search for Escanta. Ends up milling everything. Let's see. Let's see if he cares about this. I mean, he's gonna counter it, which is fine. Remember, we don't really care if they end up in our graveyard. Ideally, what we're going to do is I want enough mana in play to Teferi and Command the Dreadhorde at the same time. Name search for Escanta. Gets none of it. Plus my Planeswalkers. Is he going to blow it here? Is the question. No. Interesting. So we're going to take the Cleansing Nova. He knows we have it. Excellent. Good news here is he doesn't know we have the second one. Named search again. Milled. All the stuff. Oh, just went for the replacement Tameo. And -3 to put Sinister Sabotage back in his hand. Okay. This is where he could just draw a butt ton of cards. Except you can't draw more than one card a turn. We keep forgetting about that little part. All right. Run out Oath. He's just going to let that happen. Well, if he's in the mood for letting things happen. All right. And there goes his Sinister Sabotage. Which, again, I'm actually okay with that. I mean, he is going to get to draw a decent amount of cards here. There's the red. All right, so we know that he runs Expansion Explosion. He's going to start adding it all. Yep. There's one untap. He gets another one because Awakening is kind of busted. What are you doing, opponent? You're embarrassing yourself. Oh, we're going to blow up everything that costs 3 so that he can draw cards off of this Expansion Explosion. I was hoping he was going to do Expansion Explosion first and then just draw no cards from it. That shit would have been hilarious. He did not do that for nearly enough. Mm-hmm. All right. So I can't do exactly what I wanted to do, but that's okay. Because what I can do, see if he counters this Narset, which he opts. Opts again. And we're going to Time Raveler. Just take a look at some cards. Yeah. I'm going to grab the Nicol Bolas. I'm going to at least make him spend some mana to pick that up. Mm. All right, so this is interesting. He can float some mana. Yeah. There's a chemist's insight. All right, so he can float some mana. Take his take that up to 3. 4. He went with 4. Oh, because he fucked up. He would add 3 counters on there instead of take it up to 3. So now if he blows it up, he loses his wilderness reclamations. Thing is, he can only play things at instant speed, so he cannot play his spells anyway during his wilderness reclamation steps. So he really needed that to happen correctly. All right, so I need. Let's do this. Gift. Okay. So find nya, nya, and nya, and I gift here. Okay. I can gain some life. I can do this. Man, I've got so many options here. And we're just going to run out Nicol Bolas. We'll just draw a card. Oh. Oh. All right. So that makes things hilarious. Bringing some love over towards my man there, but he can't do anything about it. And this is where shit starts to get a little bit fun. So we're going to add a counter to all the things. I'm going to take a look at some cards. Cleansing Nova is the only thing I can do. I'm going to draw a card. All right, he knows what's going on there. Goodness. All 3 of these games so far have just been so grueling. It's so crazy. But you can see that just the amount of power that these static ability planeswalkers have is just so ridiculous. This hand seems pretty solid. Again, with a deck like this, like I want to see mid-range stuff pretty much all day because, as you've been able to tell, I can figure out what's going on. Looks like, however, we're going to start delving into the red. Oh, Boros. All right. So this deck's actually really dangerous. It's a really good, really, really good. So let's go ahead and get to work. Really, all we're doing here is just trying to keep our life total up, just like against red. Vanguard. Well, that doesn't help me at all. So we're going to gain some life. We're going to run out to Fury. He doesn't run counter magic. I don't really care about any of this, but I do want that off the table for a turn. Draws me a card. All right, so we're not in that bad a shape. We're probably going to get a time walk out of that because he's going to replay the Vanguard. He's going to attack. I'm going to get the Fog. Oh, he's going to Johnny. All right. Funny thing, he doesn't actually have a reason to attack that. He's going to do it anyway. All right. Ooh. Yeah, that's going to hurt this turn. How? That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and fall. Do we want to do that is the question. Well, like I got to figure out a way to kill this thing. Yeah, we're going to destroy all creatures here. I don't have very many options. What this comes down to, I just don't. Okay. And that isn't going to do it. So Ultimate Ajani might get me here just because I didn't get anything that worked. There's the Adanto. He'll probably +1 it one more time. Jesus. Just to get. Oh no, he's just going right for the gusto here. The double striking god. Yep. Giving counters to things. Just drawing all the lands here. So we'll do that. We'll make him 8 himself. Yep. We'll resolve that. Okay. We'll resolve that. Has another one. That is going to be lethal. So we're going to have to fog. There's the ultimate. Yep, we'll go ahead and do this. Okay. pass the turn. Yeah, another one. Gives him counters. That should do it. That'll be 6, 7, 8. There it is. Yeah, he got there. I mean, sometimes you just don't draw anything. And that happens. Next. Oh, man. What to do with this garbage? We are going to mulligan. Can't mulligan that. No. All right. So again with Esper control probably, or just blue-black. Okay. Be interesting to see what he takes here. I mean, both the planeswalkers are good. Gift would be a good thing to take. I would take Gift if I were him, knowing that I mulliganed and seeing that I'm a little land light. He took Big Zephyri, which is just fine for me. Terramander. All right. We'll gain some life. These planeswalkers say great things.
Let us see if your talents are worth cataloging.
Yeah, she's kind of a bitch. All right.
And find.
So what do we get here? I mean, I'm a big fan of Oath or Wonder. Yeah, let's do Wonder. Okay. Thought Erasure, unfortunately, as we said before, Tamiyo prevents him from making me discard anything. Because Tamiyo's fucking amazing. Yep.
Your aggression is noted.
Hmm.
I know I noted this somewhere.
Let's see if I can destroy his Terramander. I sure can. Let's cast Regrowth on our old buddy Teferi.
I follow the tracks of the wise.
There's no time for a break.
Whew, buddy. All right, so much great stuff going on in this game.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Let's run Jace out there.
We'll make this look easy.
See if we can see more of his deck.
Give and take.
Got rid of his
Will either
thief.
be a tragedy or comedy of errors.
Let me aid your research.
Let's just keep naming the Wanderer. I mean, I'm kind of filling it up. Casts the Augur of Bolus. Finds an Opt. Casts the Opt. And hits the Thief. That was probably one of the better draws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So, first things first. Let's see if we can get another land here. We can. So that is great. Let's see what we draw on this.
Hold that thought.
Root Snare solid. So we'll kill his guys. We're going to go after the Wanderer again.
To the library.
Okay.
Let's slow this down.
I want to draw another card.
Let's try this.
And that'll be that. I am blacklight right now, which is unfortunate. Mm-hmm.
You realize I do not stand alone.
Let's skip to the good part.
There's always an answer.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
Well, we found our Wanderer.
Let's get started.
I've got time.
Everybody gets a counter.
Light shall always conquer darkness.
We'll call that the end. And we should just win next turn. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. Yep. That's what happens when blue decks forget to put counter magic in there. Waiting for my opponent to unfuck himself. White source is what we're looking for on this. I mean, gift of paradise in the first like 3 draws would be fantastic. I am going to keep it just because I'm on the draw. I have some lands. That was not a white land. Looks like most likely I could say Esper Control again, but the last 2 times I said that I've been wrong. Nope. We are going with something random. Nothing wrong with that. Yep. Kind of the slow and go here. He's playing... might be playing something close to what I'm playing. Yep. Some Vivian Reed.
How this thing goes is up to you. I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Girls hardcore, man. Goes and gets a land. Yeah. Definitely feel that the deck could use some more white sources. Balance comes. You're not going to see it in this game. But the new Rao Planeswalker has one of the best lines. When you activate his +1 ability, one of the things he says is, minors need to be accompanied by an adult to ride the lightning. I don't know who does his voice, but it's absolutely perfect, whoever they got to do it. His opponent going to play the best card in his deck. We know he has it. It is revealed. It is right here. This thing's bananas. It's a 3/6 double strike. Draw X cards. Untap up to 5 lands. Oh no, if X is... Alright, so he's just going to draw... He's going to draw some cards. Okay. I got nothing, man. You move to your discard step. I'm really surprised you did that. Like, this card's bananas. It's a 3/6 for 5. It has double strike, so it's already worth it. Whenever you cast a creature spell, it puts a 4/4 zombie warrior into play. That fucking zombie has vigilance. And like the other gods, when it dies or gets removed from the game, you could put it third from the top. So it's the only way that you could possibly get rid of it is if you counter it or you somehow mill it. Well, let's see what he discarded. This card's really good. Destroy target creature, search your library for a basic land, put it in the battlefield, shuffle.
I can no longer stand by and watch. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Fury's kind of badass.
You can't stop nature.
You cannot. Oh, this bitch has 8 already? Oh my goodness. Ugin. Ugin's really good. I want to add Ugin to this deck as well. I don't know, I think it'll probably just be better than... Maybe even better than Nicol Bolas. That allows me to not worry about colors so much.
Trust me, I have a plan.
He has a plan.
I speak softly, but I carry a big sword.
Teddy Roosevelt, eat your heart out with that one. So there's the god. I mean, an Ultimate Vivian here is pretty good. it makes it to where his god just stays there forever. Activate Ugin, activate Vivian. You don't have much to worry about. Yep. Oh.
I'm done.
Bathe in ghost fire.
Hmm. And there's the ultimate Vivian. So
Nature brings your reckoning.
I don't see this game going too well for us on this side. I mean, I've just missed way too much here.
I'll protect you.
No. No Teferi, not this time. Guy's just running 5-color good shit. Ugin +1s. Okay.
Secrets manifest before you.
Alright, so this one, I can't win this one, so we're just going to move on. Well, we got our money back. The only two we've lost were just some bad draws, right? I mean, just not drawing anything. In that case, white sources early. Not drawing Tameo is always kind of rough. Mulliganing is really important with this deck. Like this. We're going to mulligan this as well. Let's get aggressive on this. Alright. Seems alright. We'll get rid of that. Hopefully we get a land somewhere in here. Alright. Alright. We need... I wouldn't mind a couple lands. A couple lands off the top would be a good thing right now. Ow. That was not a land, and missing land drops against the mono red deck means we're probably done. I mean, I won't count it out yet. It's possible that he doesn't do much, like right there. He didn't do a whole lot. There's a skewer. And why didn't you cast that pre-combat? Alright, so that's unfortunate. The deck only seems to lose to not drawing lands or drawing too many lands. Like, I guess like every deck does. But so that's how it works. I mean, we got our money back. Let's see what cards we got. Yeah, that was fun too. So I'll make another one with some of the other decks that have going on. Avengers Assemble is pretty good. But yeah, so that's the deck.